Hey everyone, happy Friday! I hope you're enjoying the beautiful day that we are having. I know we had a little bit of rain this morning, but it has been actually quite a beautiful day. Not too hot, not too cold, not too rainy, just right. So I know we have been enjoying our birds here. They've been eating quite a bit, which is wonderful. We're hearing about goldfinch starting to nest, so that's kind of fun. If you're seeing any of those behaviors, such as goldfinches coming to your nesting material and pulling out bits, please let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. But do tell us, what are you seeing? We'd love to hear from you. Um, we've had so many different birds here today. It's quite an activity here, watching our birds and our feeders. So lots of fun. Tonight we're going to have a little bit of a shorter session, if you will. I don't have a whole lot to show you, but I want to talk to you about our seed blends, which I think is a pretty big topic. It's actually on my list of topics to talk about that we pulled from last year when I asked you guys recommendations on topics you want to hear about. So that's what we are talking about tonight. Is we're going to talk about the top 6 seed blends that are most popular at the store, what makes them so great, and how to use them in your yard and who's attracted to them. So we're going to talk about that tonight as our main topic. But before I get going on that topic, I want to quickly go over some of the events that we have coming up and the promo that is happening right now in the store. So right now, tomorrow, we have a art in the garden. We're doing rock painting here. So if you would like to do some rock painting and let your creativity soar, please come on by for that. You can drop in any time between 10 and 2 p.m. and enjoy. You just come. All supplies are provided. You don't have to even bring a rock. The rocks are provided and all the paint markers, and we'll have a sealer that you can also spray on it so that when you bring it home, it will be perfect and ready to place in your own garden. Of course, if you would like to make one for our garden, it is welcome as well, because we definitely appreciate your art and your creativity. So do come on by for that. Again, it's not just open to kids. Anyone and everyone can join. So come on by for that. In August, I know we're already coming up to the next month. August, we have to start off the month, our first activity is on the 8th. It's a Saturday. It's at 11 o'clock. We're having an in-store presentation on bird feeding solutions. So this is kind of going to be an all-inclusive presentation on some of the big challenges people face when it comes to bird feeding. So that's going to kind of hit on critters. It's going to hit on problem birds such as your house sparrows and your blackbirds. It will also hit on messy, or how to make the area not messy when it comes to bird feeding. So really great topics with a lot of great, simple, proven solutions to those problems. So if you want to learn more about how to solve some of those issues and get some tips and tricks from the pros, definitely come by for that presentation. It's at 11 o'clock, again, August 8th. Definitely recommend that you come into the store or call the store to reserve a seat. We do have seating. It's just, it may be limited depending on how many people decide to come. Also happening in August, we will have a bird outing at Rock Run Preserve as usual. I'll be leading it at 9 a.m. on August 10th. That's a Monday. So on Monday morning, if you have nothing to do and want to enjoy the morning with me, you come on by to Rock Run Preserve. We meet at the Black Road Access. It's kind of right by the library on Black Road, and we go in and we just enjoy what we get to see. So sometimes we are really surprised and we get to see quite a bit and some surprising faces in there. And other times it's, the usual crowd, which is just as fine. Lots of swallows and chimney swifts and woodpeckers and goldfinches and indigo buntings. to be seen almost any day of the week when you go there. But every once in a while you get surprised and you might see an eastern meadowlark or a eastern bluebird. So definitely come on by for that. We recommend that you dress for the weather, whatever it may be, because we go rain or shine. And then bring your own binoculars. If you do not have a pair, I do carry a few that are loaner pairs that you can use for the day. But I do recommend that you come in and check out our selection. We have two great types of binoculars. We have Vanguard binoculars and we have Knox binoculars. Both of them are equally great. Just kind of depends on what you're looking for. So come on by and check them out. All right. Now let's get to the main event. Oh, and before I get started on that, I need to remind you guys that this is the last weekend that our Daily Savings Club promotion, the extended sale, is on. So if you want to take advantage of that sale and that discount with those extra 5% for this bird food sale and you're a Daily Savings Club member, this is the last weekend. It ends on the 31st, which is a Friday. So come in before the 31st, all right, to take advantage of that deal. Again, you can do in-store or shop online as long as you're using your Daily Savings Club login. You should be able to order online, no problem. If you have problems, give the call a store. We'll help you out, all right? No problems. Okay, let's get to it. Let's talk about our seed blends. These 6 seed blends are what you see when you walk into our store. It's the seed that has the signage on the wall. So if you've ever looked at that seed pile and wondered, man, what are all those blends and what makes them so different? What are they all for? Who they are all for? We're talking about that tonight. Now I want to make it clear that with all of our seed blends that we carry and all the seed that we carry at our store, you know that you're getting that stuff fresh. That seed comes in every week. Okay, there are 2 days during each week that we get seed. So every Thursday and every Friday, we get a seed truck in. So our seed is so fresh. You never have to worry about, oh, is this seed from last year? Or how old has this bag been sitting here? No, our seed is fresh. I'm telling you, it's the freshest you probably can find in town. All right? The other thing that makes our seed so special is that we never use unwanted fillers. So that is like your red Milo or red millet, that stuff that kind of gunks up the feeder or ends up just scattered on the ground and no one eats it. That is unwanted filler. We at Wild Birds Unlimited never put in unwanted filler in our seed. One that doesn't do any good for us as watchers of the birds because it just creates a mess underneath the ground and it's honestly a waste of our dollar. So if you really want the best value, come to Wild Birds Unlimited because we really do care and we are only providing seed that the birds in our area actually want to eat and will actually eat. Okay? So if you've ever wondered what the red Milo and red millet, who eats that, unless you have pheasants in your yard, which I know very many of you do not, that is just going to be unwanted filler. So the majority of our backyard birds are not eating the red stuff that are in those bargain blends, all right? So it really makes a difference on if you are trying on a budget, trying to feed the birds, to look at what's in the bag. Look at the ingredients. See what kind of ingredients and how much of the good ingredients you're actually getting because it can make all the difference, all right? Love all the action that's happening at the feeders over here. I don't know, I'm getting a little bit distracted by how many birds are in my background, so pardon me on that. All right, let's get to it. The first one I want to talk about is our Supreme blend. Supreme blend is on the wall and it's the blue bag, right? So this blend is a tried and true blend. It contains almost all sunflower seeds, and I'm talking the black oil sunflower seeds. It contains striped sunflower seeds. It contains sunflower chips in it. It also has a little bit of safflower. I'm going to open it up and show you what it looks like, just so you can see it for yourself, all right? So there it is, all right? Mostly black oil sunflower seeds, but yes, there are those striped sunflower seeds, which are a little bit larger. Great for those tufted titmice and the Cardinals love striped sunflower seed. Blue jays love striped sunflower seeds. But a lot of your main birds that are feeding at and dining at your dinner table at your feeders are going to love this blend. This blend is what I kind of call the main blend, right? This is the blend that was created for everyone in your backyard. The ones that really visit the house finches, even goldfinches could come to this blend. Your woodpeckers will like this blend. All of the birds in our area are going to like this blend. So it's a tried and true blend that everyone will like. Okay, this is also a great blend to fit in almost any kind of feeder. Right, there's nothing big or clunky in this blend. Not big chunky peanuts or things that could possibly clog skinny tube feeders. This blend will work through almost any seed feeder that you have, whether it be a tray, a hopper, a tube, what you name it, you can probably use it in it. Okay, so it's a great blend. If you are just starting out and are trying to figure out what birds are in your area, this is a great blend to try. Great blend. Because, like I said, everyone and anyone likes it. Right? Chickadees, nuthatches are all going to be happy with this blend. High in protein, and it has a lot of fiber, and it has a lot of fat in it because of all those sunflower chicks. All right, so lots of great stuff in Supreme Blend. Now, of course, these bags that I'm carrying right here are 5-pound bags. They do come in a larger quantity. So if you're looking, just come on by and you can see that we have other sizes of this seed blends. All right. The next one I want to talk about is Deluxe Blend. Deluxe Blend is the blend that is in the orange bag, if you will. It's very, very similar to Supreme Blend, and the reason for that is it's essentially Supreme with a little bit of white millet in it. So that's what all these little white little ball looking seeds are. That's white millet. Now don't get confused. White millet is the good millet we want in our seed blend. It's not like that red millet that I just talked about, all right? White millet is really attractive to ground feeding birds. In fact, a lot of times it gets kicked out of the seed, like your feeder, to allow other friends on the ground to eat it. So many times you'll see maybe even your mourning doves or your sparrows kicking things out of the feeder to feed their friends below. Don't worry, that's supposed to happen. A lot of those birds are ground feeding birds, which means they feel more comfortable eating on a flat surface. So one way you could keep them from kicking things out is by putting it in a thick lip tray feeder so that they can't kick it all out and make a mess on the ground. Or you could simply put it on a ground feeder, because again, you're catering to how your birds are liking to eat. All right, so this is also a great blend. So it's going to feed everyone that we talked about with Supreme, right? The cardinals are going to like this. The chickadees, the nuthatches are all going to like Deluxe as well. But you're adding millet to add food for the ground feeding birds that really like millet. So those are your dark-eyed juncos, right? We're preparing for them to come back soon for winter. So the dark-eyed juncos, we're talking mourning doves, we're talking sparrows, we're talking towhees, right? Some of the very top birds that are in our area that are ground feeding birds are going to love millet. So if you want to feed everyone, but also add food for your mourning doves that you love, or the sparrows that come visit, or maybe you're going to switch it up for winter when the juncos come back in town, this is a great blend to switch to. Again, it works in almost any type of feeder. Tray feeder, hopper feeder, tube feeder are all going to do great with this blend because it's easy to file through those feeders. It's not going to clog up anything. All right, great seed blend. All right. The next one I want to talk about is our Choice Blend. Now, Choice Blend is in that normally red bag. Okay, it's right next to Supreme, but it is in a red bag. Now, if you will notice, again, it looks very similar to Supreme, and it would be correct in your observation because this is what I kind of like to call Supreme with peanuts. So Choice Blend is essentially the same makeup. It has sunflower seeds, the safflower seeds, the sunflower chips, but it adds peanuts. Okay, there's no millet in this blend, but it adds peanuts. Okay, so this blend is really going to cater to your peanut loving birds, right? So we're talking woodpeckers, we're talking tuffet titmice, blue jays, nuthatches are all birds that really enjoy the peanuts. So if you wanted to cater to all the birds that we talked about before, the cardinals, the chickadees, the finches, all those guys, but you wanted to add a little bit more goodies for your woodpeckers or your nuthatches, Choice might be the blend for you. All right, this is a great blend, adding way more protein to the mix than your typical Supreme blend. Choice adds more protein because there's peanuts in there. All right, so a great blend to use if you are trying to attract more woodpeckers, more blue jays, more of those nut-loving birds to your yard. Now you'll notice with all three of the blends that we just talked about, Choice, Supreme, and Deluxe, all these blends do have shells on them. All right, there are a little bit of sunflower chips in it, but it really has majority shells on it. Now, if you have a feeder set up like I do back here, where I don't care if shells get on the ground in my garden space, it's not a big deal. But at home, there are certain feeder spots where I don't want to have the mess of seed hull on the ground where I'm feeding. There are certain cases, such as on maybe a patio or a deck space, or right below a deck or patio space, or underneath a windowsill, that I don't want the mess there. Well, we have a solution for you, because one of the three top other seed blends that we carry at the store all are no mess seed blends. And I'm going to quickly go through those seed blends for you, all right? Now, these seed blends really cater to just about any bird in your backyard, all right? So if you really want to attract cardinals or finches or chickadees or blue jays, or, you know, you name it, the type of bird, it's probably going to be attracted to these seed blends, as long as they're a seed-eating bird, all right? Let's talk real quick about No Mess CC. Now, No Mess CC CC stands for the cracked corn. And yes, in some blends, corn is kind of considered a filler, but it's not an unwanted filler. In some times of the year, corn is actually really great to be used in your seed blend, as it fills in a needed source. Now, sometimes we find in our area that the corn is very attractive to certain birds, all right, such as your blackbirds. They sometimes really like the corn. Now, unfortunately, all of No Mess blends are going to be attractive to your blackbirds because it's easy. There's no shell, it's easy food, it's easy grab and go takeout. So one thing that's really nice about No Mess CC is the price. So as opposed to some of the other No Mess seed blends, No Mess CC is a little bit cheaper in price because it does add corn, which means there are less ingredients of sunflower seed, peanuts, and white millet. So again, it's a great seed blend because it's attracting that wide variety. You're attracting all the normal visitors. There is millet in here, white millet, so you still get your mourning doves and the juncos that will love this blend. But there's a lot of peanuts and sunflower seeds, which are really attractive to your woodpeckers and chickadees and nuthatches, all of the usual crew. So it's a great seed blend to use. If you use No Mess CC, in the comments, write No Mess CC. I would love to hear you show off which seed blend you are using in the comments, all right? So tried and true, this is probably one of our top selling No Mess seed blends, but I'll show you next up the top selling No Mess seed blend, which is our regular No Mess. So we brought regular No Mess in, and you will see it just has sunflower seeds peanuts and a little bit of millet in it. It has no corn. And that was intentional because we were hearing you and we were hearing your complaining and your problems of having so many blackbirds at your feeders devouring your No Mess CC. So we brought in No Mess Regular to combat the issues that the corn created for you. So we know that blackbirds love corn. In fact, they often hit the fields, the cornfields, eating up those extra corn. And it made no sense for us to not offer a blend that did not have that corn in it. So we brought this in, and it seemed to be the problem solution, or the solution to the problem that many of you were having. So No Mess is it is the top selling, most popular No Mess seed blend that we carry at our store. So many of you enjoy it. So many of you tell me that you enjoy it. And this works great in just about any feeder that you put it in. I can even put No Mess blend right into my eliminator. The peanuts are diced enough where they do not clog the feeder. So they are a great blend. All right. So top selling blend right here. The last No Mess blend that we have is definitely a specialty blend. It is a plus blend. So what it means when we say plus blend is essentially this has, excuse me, sunflower seeds, peanuts, tree nuts, bark butter bits, fruit in it, and it has added calcium. It does not have millet in it, and it does not have corn in it. So, but because it has tree nuts and bark butter bits, which are like the suet balls, the M&Ms in the trail mix for your birds, and the little bit of fruit and the calcium, it does require a certain type of feeder. I would not put No Mess Plus into my eliminator or a tube feeder necessarily, just because, unless it has a wide port, I will say that, because of the bark butter bits and the fruit in here and the tree nuts. Sometimes this could clog tube feeders depending on your tube feeder. All right, so I would more recommend No Mess Plus for a hopper feeder or a wide port tube feeder or a tray feeder. Those are probably going to be your best options for using No Mess Plus. Now, what makes No Mess Plus better in some ways than the other No Messes is the variety that's in here, depending on your time of year, like nesting or molting season or even winter. The Plus blend is really going to amp up the nutrition for your birds because it has so much other nutrition, such as, ooh, did you see that blue jay just fly by? Because it has so many other nutrition in it, such as the bark butter bits and the tree nuts. You're really just upping the nutrition that they are gaining from eating this mix. All right, it in that sense, it has a little bit more nutritional value, but it still is making all the birds very happy. And you will even find that some birds that won't come to traditional seed may come to your plus blends because it has the fruit in it and because it has the bark butter bits. So seed eating birds sure will come to almost any seed blend that you put out there. But what about the fruit eating birds? What about your insects eating birds? Well, they will find something that they will enjoy in this blend because it's carrying bark butter bits, which is kind of like an insect replacement, and fruit in it, which is very attractive to your fruit eating birds, such as your robins, your cedar waxwings, you know, even your Orioles might enjoy this blend as well. So really great options for No Mess. Now, again, we are having that bird feeding solutions presentation in August. I highly recommend you come to that. If you are not sure what blend to use or how to make a no mess feeding possible, how to take care of critters, or how to manage different birds in your backyard, that is the presentation that you want to go to. All right, but at Wild Birds Unlimited, know that our bird food is always fresh. It's probably the freshest in town you will ever find. We also never use unwanted fillers, So all the food in the bags that we have curated are designed for the birds in our area. So it is really meant for them. We are catering to the birds that you want to attract. All right. So with that, I hope to see you this weekend. Don't forget tomorrow we have art in the garden, rock painting, and also don't forget that we have other events coming up in August. I know they are not on the website. I tried to finish that today, and they are not on Facebook, but I promise you by the 1st they will be up. All right, so we will have them up for sure before August 1st so that you can see all the events that we have going on this month. We have 2 animal encounters happening in August, so stay tuned for more information on that. And also don't forget, if you're a Daily Savings Club member, the promotion for the extended bird food sale ends on the 31st. So this is the last weekend to take care of it, all right? So take advantage of it while it's still here. All right, everyone, you have a wonderful weekend. If you are in the area of Wilmington on Sunday for Catfish Days, our store will be in the parade at Catfish Days. So please holler out at me or the crew as we go by. We would love to see your faces there as well. All right, guys, you have a wonderful weekend. See you next time. Bye now.